It's and welcome back to my channel for another bullet journal video. Today's video is a custom order setup for the month of October. You may already saw a few of those videos up on my channel. I already did the yearly setup and also the August setup, if I'm not mistaken. But today we are doing October and the theme was just Halloweeny kind of stuff. And I'm sorry for the angle and the quality of this video. I did my best, but as you may already know if you've been following my channel for a while, I had to be hospitalized for 2 weeks for a special re-education program because I am paralyzed from the waist down. And a lot of those videos were filmed in the hospital because I had a deadline, which was the start of the school year, because this order was from classmates of mine, and I had to give it back to her and it to be ready for back to school. And I unfortunately was in the hospital the 2 last weeks of the summer holidays, so I had to record everything while I was hospitalized. But back to the actual setup. As always, if you want to see the close-ups, they will be at the end of the video at the time written on the screen. And for the actual spread, this is the cover page that I did for October. I just spelled October in calligraphic letters, and underneath it I added a small calendar, and the word has a little spider hanging from it. At the bottom I added a gravestone and a pumpkin. On the left side there is a little ghost, which I think turned out kind of cute. And on the left corner I added a little bat. It's not something that I was used to drawing at all, but I was actually super surprised on how it turned out. And I used my Faber Castel Pitt artist pen for the lettering part and to color everything in. I have Tombow dual brush markers, and I got them this summer, so I was really excited to be able to use so many colors for this custom order. It took me a pretty long time because it was of course summer holidays and I had a lot of things to do, but overall I am so happy with how the whole journal came out. I will not have a complete flip through of it because I unfortunately didn't have enough time left before I had to give it back to record a flip through, but I have most of the month individually filmed, and I will have a playlist which I will put in the little E up there and also in the description box down below, so you can find all of the custom bullet journal setups that I will be doing, because I really hope that I will be able to do more custom orders because I just love doing bullet journals, and it's even more fun to do for other people because I can do themes that I would never do. A little sneak peek is that the December theme will be aliens, and it was so fun to do because I would have never done it for myself. Anyways, back to the actual setup. This is the calendar spread, and I just did individual boxes for the whole month, and it was actually my first time really doing this style with individual boxes. boxes and not just a whole box just separated. But I had the idea that if I separated each one of them, I could do drop shadows, and I did one orange and the next one alternating with black, and it just turned out so cute and so vibrant and so Halloweeny, so I just love it. And also, something that I did not mention is that this whole journal is made in French. My native language is French, and where I live we speak French and German, so I do both languages. But I also am bilingual in English, which is why I do my videos in English. So I just wrote at the top of every column the French name of the days, and also you may have recognized that October is spelled with R-E at the end, which is the way we spell October in French. It's just the two letters at the end that are inverted, and if you're interested, I'm gonna say it once, but it's pronounced Octobre in English, so in French, so it's really similar. But I basically did the name of the month in the upper left corner, and hanging from it I did a spider web, and on the side a bat. I also did in the little corner on the right page, little pumpkin, and at the bottom of the left page I did a little skull. I thought it would look really good, and you can see me right now doing the drop shadows. It took so long to do, but honestly I wouldn't have done it any other way. It looked so good, and honestly the camera doesn't do it justice. It's so much better in real life. Okay, so the next part I did is the habit tracker, and I'm really sorry for the way it turned out on camera. I hadn't any other choice to do it this way, and you only see my hand the whole time. But I basically did tiny little calendars. I did 5 of them on 2 columns, so she can just color it in every time she does one of her habits, and she chose to have 5. And then at the top I just wrote in check-in, daily check-in, checkup or check-in. Checkup actually, and it means a daily checkup, basically. I surprisingly liked doing these tiny calendars for all the habits tracker, because mine is so different from this layout that it was a fun thing to be able to do something different and experiment a little bit more. And I then, once all the calendars were done, I spent some time to decorate it and do the same kind of doodles I did on the other spreads, and I think it turned out super cute. I also put the first letter of each day of the week on top of the calendars, and then I drew on the bottom of the page. But I just feel like it turned out so well. It's one of my favorite themes of the whole journal, and honestly just October in general is my favorite time of the year to draw like spooky stuff and all that, so it was very fun for me to be able to do that. And also, something I don't think I already mentioned is that the color scheme that I went for is orange, green, and black. So that's basically the whole aesthetic I went for, because that's what she said she was okay with, and I really think it's colors that go very well together. And I don't know if you can tell very well. But the thing on the bottom that I drew is a coffin. I think that's how they're called, so it's basically a coffin. And then onto the second page, and this is the mood tracker, and in front it's called Mon Humeur, which is my mood, and the first word is like hanging from the ceiling, and I thought it was so creative when I did it, and then I just spelled the other one just like in cursive. And I did a giant spider web for each one of the days, and I'm not sure, but I think I had 2 extras, but it looked weird if I didn't include them, but it just looked so good. And at the bottom I have a key, which I am pretty sure there's 6 spaces. Yeah, there are 6, so 1 for 6 moods, and she can just fill in the little rectangle, the little place. She can fill it with a color and then add what mood she wants to track. And then this spread is the playlist of the month. That's the special spread that she requested for each one of the month, and I think it's just a really cute spread to add in your bullet journal if you don't want like anything actually to track, or if you don't really have that many spreads per month. That's a really simple spread to do. It's super quick, and there's just 4 rectangles that I just rounded the edges of, and I did a title, and you could basically write the spread just like this. If you want to do this, I'm sorry, I cannot talk anymore. But if you want to do this for yourself, you could just let it plain and fill it with 4 songs. But I went the extra way and just added a few decorations, like kind of the same thing that I did for the rest of the month. And my favorite part is that I added the little black cat on the last box, and I wasn't really sure how I was gonna do it, but I think it turned out super cute in the end. I was very proud of myself for it. Also, something that I forgot to mention is that this journal is a Leuchtturm 1917. It's a journal that I never used before, but it's the one that I had that had the most pages in it, and I was pleasantly surprised with it. They are a little bit see-through, so if you do like a mood tracker, I would suggest leaving the other side of the page blank, just like when you fill it, so you don't have there's no bleeding, but it's just that you can see a lot through the pages, and it's not as nice if you have something on the other side. But I didn't have any issues with like markers bleeding through or anything. I don't think I would use this journal for myself, because the pages are a little bit smaller than the ones that I use. For reference, I use a dingbat notebook, and they are a little wider, so I usually have more space for my spreads, and that's just personal preference. It looks fine, it's perfect like the way it is. I just have a preference for the one I use. But for this first weekly spread, I did 7 boxes, 1 for each one of the days, and then I have a school section because she specifically asked for a school section on each weekly spread, and I just had a line at the top of each box to put the name of the day and the dates, and I colored that in orange, and I think it looks great. I also added a couple doodles, but a lot less because the spread doesn't have a lot of space. And I also added another black cat. I discovered a love for drawing black cats. And you can see on the upper left corner that there is a number, which is actually just the number of the week. I did the same thing in my journal, but it's basically that starting at the first week of school is week 1. So starting from there, and then for the whole week, for the whole school year, each week is numbered. Because where I live, they sometimes just say like on week, I don't know, 27, you will have a math test or something. And so like that, you can just refer in the yearly setup, which I will link in the corner. But it's basically I have future log with every single one of the months, so she can have her dates. This second weekly is a layout that I never tried before, and I was very excited to be able to try it out. I just did boxes which are spread out, and it's one on the left, one on the right, and it's always alternated, and it looks actually super good. I was kind of surprised, I would say, because I went into this layout not knowing how it will actually look like, and I was so happy with the final results. So I have 7 boxes for each one of the days, and then a section at the bottom of the right page for schoolwork and stuff. And with this layout, I actually had a lot of space to doodle, which I was super happy. And it's actually a layout that I used a lot throughout all of those monthly setups, because I realized that there's a lot of space to work with, and also a lot of space to draw and make it pretty. So I was really excited to be able to use this one a lot. And you had a little sneak peek on the November setup, which is crystal themed. So if you don't want to miss that, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because it's epic. It's one of the most beautiful setups, but it's actually been done in advance because I used watercolor for it, and I knew that I wouldn't be able to bring that to the hospital, so I did it in advance. So that's why you were able to see a little glimpse of it. But this setup is just vertical boxes which have rounded edges and a line of orange for each one of the days, and I just think it looks so good. There's 5 vertical boxes, and then for the weekend there is 2 wider boxes stuck on top of each other, and a small one on the left side of the spread for schoolwork. And there was so much room to decorate. I was so happy. I love the little ghost I did on the left side, just poking his head from the spread. I just think it was a little cute thing. And I think this one is actually the final and last weekly spread, and I don't know if it really shows up that well on camera, but I can see through the November cover page. I don't know how well you can see this, but that's why I'm not a big fan of those journals, because you can see through, even if it's not directly on the page, you can still see through a lot, and I wasn't a big fan of that. But anyways, I just did some lines and not boxes for once, which is a setup that I do a lot for my personal bullet journal. I really love it. And on the left side there is a section for appointments, so a section for each day, so if she has any appointments she can just put it in here. And yeah, now we have the close-ups. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more, definitely subscribe for more. Go check out the playlist with all the different setups, and I will see you guys in the next one. I hope you enjoyed, and bye.